Channel switched.
Takeoff checks.
Right.
Burner.
Great.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check trim set. Check rating norm. My heading is 041. Check your waypoint 1. Tail altimeter setting 2978 for a center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your bearing 0. Check your FC 15, 30, 30, 41 down. Check your fuel to seat arm. Lights out.
Right.
Burner.
Great.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday night Virtual Blue Angels
Coming right.
winter training
Screw over.
practice. Burner.
Great.
And Burner's just going to be delayed. Rudder pedal. Got to reconnect them.
Rog.
And I did my wipeout there, and rudder pedals weren't actually connected. There we go. Quick connect and reconnect. Alright, Burner's okay. Go ahead,
Okay,
everybody.
on the left. Going.
Right.
In the back seat tonight, I have Non, last week's backseat ride winner. Say hello to the people of the internet, Non, if you'd like.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, all right. Okay, boss.
Boss, I'm 74% on the Lender roll.
Solos race switch 16, boss.
Some of the car wins. Ready, split. Boss, 16, comp 2.
Right.
Burner.
Great.
Boss, up
Getting
16,
our-
comp 2.
Right.
Burner.
Great.
Getting our radios set up
Left
here
channel.
as we go into the covered wagons. Once again, I'll be taking off from the 4 position and flying the 3 profile tonight. We have Air Brake back with us tonight. He'll
Easy
be
power.
practicing the number 5 profile to get ready for the 2025 season. As I've mentioned in previous streams, we are
Easy
in recruiting
brakes.
season. For the rest of this week, anyway, we'll be accepting applications
more
up
brakes.
until Friday the 26th.
Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Coming right. So, okay.
So, if you like what you see here tonight, and you think it's something you'd like to get into, go to virtualblueangels.com, click on the recruiting tab, and submit your application. There are 4 more recruit checkout flights scheduled between now and the end of January. Okay, boss.
Boss. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Easy brakes. Brakes.
And just like last Thursday, stick around till
Solos,
the end
we're
of
quick,
the stream.
Solos ready to go, boss.
Boss, give your take off. What's your com? Check your breaker brake off. Check your trim set. Check your nose with a steering on. Maneuver. Diamond half stroke cage. Left turn out.
Ready.
Burner, Diamond has clears on 9. Let's go!
Let's roll up.
Stick around until we're back on the ground, and we'll be giving away another back seat ride at the end of the flight. Here we go.
Smoke on. Off. Brakes now. Burners ready now. Power set.
Here.
Little drive. And up we go. A little more pull. Right. Right turn burners ready now. Easing power.
And I'll just
Easing
transition over to the left wing.
more power. Easing power.
And we're in.
Okay. A little pull. Rolling out. Adding power. Adding more power. Up.
Once again, I forgot to turn on my eye tracker. Apologies for that. I'll remember one of these days. You probably noticed that on the stream, the center of my view is nice and clear and sharp, but the periphery is blurry.
Easing power.
That's because my
Easing
VR headset
more power.
is tracking my my eye gaze and is
Easing
only
more power.
rendering full resolution in the center of my fovea where I'm looking, and then lowering the resolution in my
Easing
periphery
the pull.
to give me better performance in the game, better frame rates, etc.
Smoke. Off. Come left.
Alright, first maneuver done.
Adding power. Adding more power. Comes the pull.
Next up, we have the Diamond 360. Well, boss is really cranking this turnaround. He briefed us that
Easing
tonight
the
he's going to be
pull.
trying a couple things with
Rolling
his cadence calls and pulls. So we'll see how it goes. It's probably going to be all for the best. Take it in.
We're behind the crowds. The Diamond 360 easing power.
Ready.
Right now.
Easing more power.
But in the meantime, while we're getting everything
Easing
figured
power.
out, there'll probably be some teething issues.
Come left. Come in further left.
Ready.
Come in further left.
Burner.
Comes the hole. We're in 360 here.
Ready.
Burner. And I'm a little
Smoke.
unstable.
Off.
Trying to reel it in. Little low, but we're gonna hold what we got. Gotta make it nice and stable as we cross in front of the crowd.
Center points. Smoke. Off. Easing the pole. Rolling out.
Use it out. That maneuver's a bit like a
Adding power.
duck on water.
Adding more power.
We try to look really stable, but if you were looking at my hands,
We're behind the crowds. The
there's
diamond roll.
lots of little inputs. Burner. Up next, we got the diamond roll. And I'm going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about how to perform a formation barrel roll from the wing. I might use this replay footage to help with recruit training tomorrow and Sunday. So we're going to roll to the left, and the most important thing to remember is that the first move is up or
Easing
down,
the pole.
not left and right. intuitively, you'd think that, oh, we're doing a left barrel roll, so the first thing I'm going to do is start rolling to the left. But because boss is rolling into me, the first thing I'm going to focus on is going down in pitch. As the roll progresses, I'll add in a little right rudder towards the boss. And that allows me to have a little bit more bank angle to match my wings with boss, so I don't have to be cupped into him. You'll always have a little bit of cupping, depending on the relative strength of your rudder.
Easing the pull.
And as the roll came to an end, I just eased out that rudder input, and then understood that I might have to allow my bank angle into the boss to increase a little bit as the rudder came out. It's the same procedure on the outside wing if boss is rolling away from you.
Ready.
If boss is rolling away from you, the first move you're going to make is to pull up to track his roll rate, and you'll start banking towards him to match your wing angle and rudder, in this case rudder left, towards the boss to give you a little extra yaw so you don't have to be cupped overbanked towards the boss.
Ready.
Smoke.
Let's ease it out to half clear. So now we have the diamond aileron roll. We'll ease it out to a safe distance called half clear. Holding our sight picture the whole way.
Hit it.
And on boss's call, we do a roll. Take it in.
Smoke off. Coming right.
I was late on my take it in call there. Yammering away.
Comes the pull. I need a little power.
And as I alluded to earlier, boss is changing up how he's doing his turnarounds a little bit. So in general, all these turnarounds are feeling like they're just a little bit higher G than normal. So I'm a bit on the struggle bus tonight, trying to track him, but
We're on the cross, the diamond dirty loop, text lights on.
Ready.
but that's why we practice. Once we get a feel for how he's doing things, as long as he's consistent, we'll all get synced up again and be nice and
Easy, right?
relaxed. Reach up, turn on my landing light
Just a little power.
for when the gear comes down, make us nice and visible to the crowd.
Stand by the boards.
Here come the gear.
Boards.
Actually, sorry, the boards. Duh.
Coming further
We got to
right.
get slow first, then put the gear down so you don't accidentally rip it right off the aircraft. It would be suboptimal.
A little pull. Stand by the gear. Gear. Drop the hooks. Boards up. Adding power. Using a little pull. Blowing a little bank.
For those following along at home, my sight picture in the diamond that I'm looking to hold
A little more bank.
is I want to be looking straight down the leading edge of the wing and vertically seeing two lines of text on the boss's jet.
Rolling out the diamond dirty loop.
Ready.
If I see
Smoke. On.
one line of text, I'm too low.
Burners ready now.
And if I see a lot of blue, oh, I was late
Up
there.
we go.
Fell a little behind. I'll take a safety in the debrief
pull.
for not being paying close enough attention. I was able to get back into the spot, and luckily with this
Old 14
maneuver,
burners ready now.
if you
Using power. Ease
fall
and
a
more
little
power.
aft at
Stand
burner
on the boards,
engagement.
Boards.
It's actually
Ease and power.
pretty difficult to notice from show
little
center, since you're looking at us from the front of our jets at that point in the maneuver. Hard to get a feel for being a little aft or forward.
Ease in the pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Smoke. Off. Boards. Up. Coming right.
I got a little flung by that turn there. No big deal.
A little pull. Some of the gear. Up.
You always want to get your power nice
Stand by
and
the hooks.
set,
Up.
so you can take your hand
Use the
off
pull.
the throttle and actuate
Going
the
back
gear and
to the left.
flap levers. Now I'm going to fall back and offset slightly right of the boss to fly the double
Tight
farvel
turn.
position from the slot position.
A little pull. Over left turn, so the door farble flaps auto.
Hey.
Burner. I'll look down, make
Trim it
sure I actually am in
Trim
flaps
set.
auto mode.
A little further left.
Boss is
Little
leaving us behind here. We're going to be fast. He's having a tendency to rush this recently. We'll see how it turns out.
Farble and British speed pumps on.
Ready.
Burner, pumps on. We got our inverted pumps going. It looks like our speed's okay,
Ease
as long
the
as we don't gain too much smash on the rollout.
Rolling out.
And I'm all over the place on my initial position. Burner. Yeah, we are really up on the throttle. This is going to be a difficult join since we're so high
Boss
up
is
on
set.
power.
415. Ready. Hit it.
Take it in. Oh, boss. Smoke on. I don't know if I unloaded too much there or boss pushed up, but suddenly we were coming at each other with quite a quickness.
A little push.
So, again, that's why we practice, and we'll take a close look at it in the debrief
Roll.
and see exactly what
Roll
happened.
that up.
Smoke off. Reset train.
And now we just
390.
offset to the side
Come left.
to clear the left wing pilot if there was a left wing jet there. We don't want to come down into him. And we'll turn our inverted pumps
A
off
little pull.
while we got a minute.
375.
Got 3 balls.
Boss, behind the crash with the fan brake pumps off.
Ready.
Burner, pumps off.
Smoke on. Smoke off. Ease in the pull. Rolling up.
Take it in.
Ease in power.
And we,
Ease and more power.
Click our smoke on there briefly behind the crowd because the solos are setting up for
Ease
their
and
opposing min radius
more
turn.
power.
And we just want to make sure everybody has good visual on everybody else. So now we get set up for the fan brake.
Right.
Burner. Marty's moving around quite a bit in the fore aft axis at the start. Hopefully we'll get that locked up. I feel like he's maybe just a hair aft.
Comes the pull.
There we
Tank is set. Square fan brake.
Ready.
Burner. I didn't quite hear Marty's call there. I'm going to assume he called clear. And I'm trending a little high. We'll work it down. You want to get the heads aligned. And with as little
Center
relative
points.
motion as possible. Looks like Marty did a good job getting it locked up
Back
once the smoke came
to
on.
the right.
Helps me out quite a bit. And I fell a little
Good
out
on.
Ready.
Burner as we
High power.
affected the rollout.
Smoke off.
Oh, rough one there. And now we smoothly transition
pull.
back into the diamond position.
Ease in the pull.
That one again, I'm having a trend
Roll
of
out.
transitioning a little too fast. I need to get myself stabilized and make it nice and
We're
slow
putting
and
the grass
deliberate.
in the change roll.
Ready.
Right. Next up, changeover roll. We'll start in a left echelon.
Coming right. Go left echelon.
Right across, Marty.
Ready.
Starting a left echelon. Do a left barrel roll. And while we're in the roll, we'll transition back to diamond. A lot of fun, good challenge, but actually, in a lot of ways, easier than the original Blue Angel maneuver of just a pure left echelon roll. Because as the maneuver progresses, you're all sort of not breaking apart, but moving
Top.
to go from left echelon to diamond, and not having to precisely hold that
Rolling
left
out.
echelon formation as we roll.
The change roll.
Ready.
And boss rolled that out a little quick for my taste, but we're making it work. That's all right. We'll brief it, debrief it, I should say.
Up we go.
Marty's moving forward quite a bit as the maneuver's getting started. Looks like he's checking back.
Okay.
Put in a little right rudder, diamond, and relax the pull to drop down, diamond. And what I'm focusing on in all the rolls is to try to keep a good wing angle match with boss. And if I need a little help, I put in a little rudder. Not so much modulating the rudder as putting in a certain amount, holding it, and still controlling your distance with the ailerons. But you'd be surprised how uninvolved the ailerons are in that maneuver. It's mostly looking at your pitch and making sure you're matched vertically, and getting a healthy amount of rudder in to keep things balanced. Up next, we got the line abreast loop.
Little more pull.
And over there is air brake, just joining the formation after his sneak pass.
Small turns up the line abreast loop.
Ready.
Break.
And I'm going to drop a little low, just for practice.
Some pull.
During the show,
Rolling out some bank. The line abreast loop. The line abreast.
Ready.
during a full show, we would have somebody on our outboard, and so we don't want to ride high in the diamond position. We want to ride a little lower in the delta position to give that guy a view on the boss.
Smoke. On. Up we go. A little more pull.
This maneuver requires very precise,
Easy power.
small amplitude corrections.
More
The less you
power.
can disturb the jet,
Pull.
the easier it's going to be for you.
Easing power.
If you get massively off in one axis, you're going to have a hard time getting back into a good equilibrium point. And that kind of goes for every maneuver, in a sense. The more you can keep the jet calm, keep your hands and control inputs calm,
Adding power. Go downstairs.
Good break.
the easier it's going to be.
Stinger.
Smoke. Off. Everybody detach.
First clear.
Come
On that transition, we stay high to allow the lead solo and the slot pilot to sweep underneath the inner wingmen, give them plenty of vertical space, and then once
A little pull.
the lead solo calls that he is made it into the stinger formation, then Marty and I are clear to drop back down into the diamond's position.
He's in the pole. Rolling out. We're behind the cross with the vertical brake. Boss, 8-3.
Ready.
Burner. 7-3. Gotta glance down at my fuel indicator. It's always a tricky spot to look at it during the rollout, so I try to hold off until I'm sure I can steal a glance, but I still fell out a little bit. You gotta be careful with that.
Ready.
Burner. And now we move over into the trail position.
A little pole.
And we're going to do the vertical brake. So we'll pull up, and on our way up, it's basically a start of a loop with a brake at the top. Start in trail, and then boss will call us into diamond with the adding power call.
Rolling out.
And then we'll brake.
Vertical brake.
Ready.
And do a rejoin. Burner. I'm a little sloppy with my trail flying here. You want to be very strict with yourself on holding that center line precisely.
And up we go.
If I had a slot pilot below me,
a little more pull.
he would probably have a tough time tracking that. Marty's not doing us any favors there. He kind of got off on his center line as well.
Ready, brake.
And I was probably a little slow on the roll there.
Smoke. Off.
Plug in the burners, and man, we got slow.
Boss is pointing at the cart.
Sacrifice a
250.
little bit of altitude for airspeed.
300.
And I'm just generally
350.
behind because of
Leveling.
the slow start. We're going to get out in front of him a little bit on our split S.
390.
Oh boy.
Come left.
This is an odd angle.
380. A little pull. Adding a little power.
Luckily, boss is coming towards us, so we can kind of just
Coming
chill
back to the right.
and let him come to us.
390.
As boss rolls back the other way, we transition from the low side to the high side. We always want to keep our rejoin contract with our other wingman, which is to say we're going to stay on
390.
F3 boss.
Boss, we're in front of the crowd, so barrel break.
Ready.
We're going to stay in our sector, so if you're coming in on the left side, you sort of own the left airspace left of the boss. And if we're on a right turn, that means that you own the left airspace and the airspace above the boss. Uh-oh. Wonder what that chime was. Hopefully we're still alive.
Barrel break.
Ready.
Right. All my controls still seem to be functioning, knock on wood.
Smoke. On. Up we go. A little more pull.
So as you can see, we're in the offset position. The sight picture moves from being able to see all the text on the spine of boss's jet to just being able to see the bug. And we do that to get a little fore aft clearance before the break.
More power, a little.
It was a very nice pull and roll from the boss there. Very easy to stay with. And I dare not look away to see how we're lined up on the line. We'll check it in debrief. And that's ultimately boss's responsibility anyway.
Ready, break. Smoke. Off. Roll over.
And plug in the burners. And get a nice healthy pull to kill all our speed.
340.
Start heading towards the
360 coming
boss
left.
with the burners plugged in.
370.
And Marty's
little
coming at the boss from a very odd angle. We'll have to hit him up on the debrief for that one. And
Using
because
some
he had
pull.
to
Rolling out
sort of
some
aboard his rejoin.
380
He's going to be way
cross,
behind.
Low break cross, boss 100.
Party 200.
Burner 300. And right there, we
He's low
were
power.
calling out our crossing altitudes for the low break cross. Normally, if I'm flying the slot position, I'd be coming in at 50 feet, bottom of the formation. Got 3 boss.
Boss coming for left.
And this again is a aft set maneuver, so I'll just slide to the aft set. But since I'm flying the 3 position today, I'm going from the bottom of the stack to the top of the stack, 50 to 300 feet.
A little further left. Little pull. He's in the pull. Rolling out. The low break cross.
Party.
Burner. Oh, excuse me.
Smoke.
A little gas there.
Ready break.
Ready break.
50 feet.
And this is going to be an extra challenge because normally we have a big white
1
tarp.
mile. Mark 250.
And I'm about on time. Maybe a little ahead.
Mile and
We
a
don't have that
half.
white tarp tonight. We just
Mark
have
left.
the show center truck. And we got boss picked up. Let's see if we can make it nice and close. Reasonable.
Descending, accelerating. Hat.
And there's the truck.
Mile
I'm
and
using
a
my
half.
VR zoom to get a
Mark
good
370.
view on it. Switch over to hat mode.
1 mile. Mark 370.
And I'm behind. I'm going to plug the burners in.
Half a
Now
mile.
I'm
Mark
at a
370.
safe altitude.
Center. Point. Smoke. Off. Come left.
And now we try to chase down the boss. The goal is to try to be in a fairly close position by the time he rolls out.
He's in the pull. Roll it out.
And not quite as close as I would like, but better than last Thursday. So I'll take the
He's
progress and
Can't
say thank you, boss. On last Thursday, he really cranked
Easy
the
power.
G's up on that
375, a little
turnaround, and I just wasn't able to hang with him. I had too much
pull.
extra speed compared to him. So when he went up in G, got 3 boss.
Boss.
When he went up in the G, I was just I just did not have the available G
He's in
to
the
hang with it. It was much more gentle tonight.
Rolling out. Easing power. Easing more power.
And we'll take this
24
downtime
miles
in the
and
show
270.
Party.
to
Stand by
remind
boards.
everybody in the chat
Boards.
and anybody watching the replay that we are
Alright.
in recruiting season. And we will be accepting applications until this Friday, the 26th.
Oh.
We're doing recruit flights right now. The recruits are doing great. So if you would like to try out for the team, see if you have what it takes, go to virtualblueangels.com, click on recruiting, and put in your application. Also,
He's in
we'll
the
be
pool.
raffling off a backseat ride at the end of the flight once we're back on the ground.
Rolling out.
So if you'd like to,
Party.
right now. So if you'd like to fly along with us, like Nan is in my back seat right this very moment, stick around until the end, and we'll do
Smoke.
a raffle.
On.
No purchase necessary. You don't need to own the DCS F-18. We have our own mod, and DCS itself is free. So we have a backseat only version that we
Boards.
give out to the public.
Up.
Can't fly it on your
Come
own, but
left.
you can use it to fly with
Okay.
us.
Burners ready now. Whoa. Comes the pull.
Once again, I'm a
Burners ready
little
now.
delayed on my burner engagement.
Whoa. Easing power.
And maybe pulled a hair too much power off.
More
Front power out. Now that the burners are out, we snuggle up to give a good optical to the crowd at Show Center. And Marty's doing the same thing on the other side. He's easing it out along the bearing line. And if we do it right, it'll look like we're still nice and evenly spaced from Show Center. That said, that still went much better than my performance last Thursday. So once again, I'll take the improvement and keep working on it. And as we roll out, we ease back out into the usual position, and I will call ease it out, which is Marty's cue to drop vertically from the diamond position into the delta position, which is, as I said earlier, diamond position vertically is 2 lines of text on boss's spine, and the delta position is 1 line of text. I'm going to concentrate intently on flying nice and smooth, because air brake is about to...
Delta roll, boss X3.
Right.
Right now. Air brake.
Air brake is about to join on my outer left wing.
Pause.
And there he is.
Left 4, boss.
Pause. A little pull.
Up next, delta roll. Once again, just to go over some of the finer points on doing a formation barrel roll. First move you're going to make as boss starts to roll is up or down. In this case, I'll be moving down.
Delta roll.
Right.
Right now. That was a very smart rollout from boss there. A little too fast. We'll debrief it. Difficult to stay with smoothly. I can only imagine the time that air brake was having outboard of me. But you just kind of hang with it best you can. So we're easing the pull and adding a little right rudder, using a little more pull, adding a little roll. Dropped a little too much on the pull. I just kind of wait. Boss is rolling towards me, so I can just kind of hold off and let him come to me. I'm not doing a stellar job of maintaining my vertical. And as we're finishing, the rudder comes out, and I let the bank angle increase towards the boss just a hair as the rudder comes out. But overall, the big concentration point is your pull and push. That you're holding your vertical spacing correctly. That's probably the biggest factor to having a successful roll of any kind, is not to over-focus on the rudder or your bank, but to make sure that you don't get ahead or behind in the roll vertically. Especially on the left wing, if you get flat.
Right.
Air brake.
If you're on the left wing and you get flat to the boss, meaning
Shift it.
you go high, you're going to be in a very tough compromised position, because you're going to have to increase your push, and as you increase your push, you're taking G off the aircraft and you lose the effectiveness of your bank, which means you're which means you have to roll even further into them, and then it becomes like a cascading effect. So very important, maintain your vertical and use a little bit of rudder into the boss to help you from having to be overbanked towards the boss. Alright, now we got the crowd pleaser. Flirtily. Ready, roll! Take it in. And plug in the right burner and get headed towards the boss. Once I'm on bearing line, power comes out, and I start ruddering away. Start nulling out my closure speed, and you want a nice, gentle, final closure. Diamond.
A little pull.
I tripped up boss with that call a little bit. I was probably a hair late making that diamond call, but I wanted to make sure we were nice and stable. That one's a lot of fun. Once you get a feel for it, it's not as difficult as it looks, and
A little
it's just kind of, a nice moment for the
Easy
diamond
roll
to light their hair on
back
fire
to
and
the right.
do a little aerobatic rejoin.
A little further right.
As you can see, we join back into the diamond position, and once air brake calls that he has the diamond in sight, he'll call in on 16
Smoke.
right there. We'll turn our smoke off, and
330.
then that's the cue for Marty and I to resume in the
Pull
delta position.
right turn. Snap the delta loop right cross. Boss 200.
Buddy, 400.
Burner 600.
Break 400.
Hey, low power.
And with that call,
320.
we are
Using some pull.
doing a safety check on our crossing
Pull out
altitudes for the, whoops, I did not,
360.
I got caught out by that, rolling out some bank as I was
Yeah, full
turning my
Using the pull.
altimeter from
Rolling out.
hat
Boss.
mode
The delta
back
loop right
into
cross.
barrel mode. Right now.
Break.
So hat mode is something you'll hear on the radio during this maneuver. It's a feature of the Super Hornet. Stands for height above terrain, and it's similar to radar altimeter. It does use elements of the radar altimeter, but it also takes into account global maps and GPS data to supplement the radar altimeter to give you a more precise
A
reading.
little more pull.
So if you're listening to Blue Angel comms during this winter training, when you hear hat, that's what it means. I'm getting flat in general here. Not doing air brake any favors. Generally be
Vertical, 5-5.
running the delta in a flat
Easy
position,
power.
too high. Pretty much throughout this delta
Easy,
sequence, so I'm going to definitely take a
more
safety
power.
on that in the debrief.
Little show left. Ready, break.
And as we brake, smoke comes on. We can cross-check our egress line.
Level.
And undershot the level by
1
just
mile.
a bit.
Mark 380.
Okay, we're on time, but we're a little fast.
Mile and a half. Mark 380.
And we're still on time. A little
2
slow.
miles. Mark 380. 2.5 miles. Mark smoke on.
And while we're outbound, we're checking our
And
distance.
up we go.
Pulling the 3Gs, and we're going to hold 3Gs at a constant throttle until we get to 8 alpha.
Adding power.
And once we're at 8 alpha, boss calls adding
Vertical.
power.
4.5. 250.
And I've been consistently beating him to the vertical. Now, granted, I pulled a little bit more than I probably should have.
Horizon 7-1. 220. Easing power. Easing the pull. Ready, roll, hat.
And we go back into hat mode, as you heard him call there.
Rolling,
And we've
3
got a good,
miles. Mark
good alignment on the show center truck.
2.5
And
miles. Mark
I've been
400.
undershooting my altitude, so
2 miles,
tonight I'm going to come
Mark
down
4.
on it rather than come up to it.
Mile and a half. Mark 400.
And I'm grossly ahead because
1
I
mile,
beat him
Mark
through
400.
the half Cuban, so I'm going to look and see
Half a mile.
how I'm doing on my
Mark.
speed. And I'm still beating him, so I'm just going to
Center
idle it all the way in.
point. Smoke off.
And I think that was Boss's fault. We're going to have to really go through the...
390
there's the
coming
old
up.
joke, Boss is never early or late, which is still true, and we need to be making adjustments to compensate, but I feel like I've been
full.
flying that half Cuban
380.
reasonably on parameters to not be that off in my sync with Boss on that half
Using a little
Cuban.
pull.
So we'll look at it in further detail and get
Rolling
it
out
sorted
some
out.
375. Oh,
A nice smooth rejoin. No hurry on this one because the
380.
back
easing
row
power.
of jets, 4, 5, and 6 in that maneuver are
Easing power.
braking opposite direction, and then therefore at the cross
Yeah,
they're
boss.
going
Boss. We're in front of the
180
crowds.
degrees
Yeah,
from the
break out.
formation.
Ready.
Right.
Break.
So they have to plug in full burners and boogie back into the formation, whereas the left and right wingmen are pretty much headed in the same direction as Boss. They can just take their sweet time getting back in
A little
formation.
further left.
Next up, we got the Delta Breakout. Nice, easy one. That's a crowd pleaser.
A little pull.
So on boss's call, we'll set a pull-up rate, and then as we break, we'll all roll to
He's in the pull.
pre-briefed angles and hold a constant 2 Gs as we
Roll it out.
spread out.
The Delta breakout.
Ready.
Burner.
Break.
Smoke. On. A little pull. Ready, break. Smoke. Off. Push over. $320. 360.
And now we do a rejoin back
370
into
gone, right?
Delta. I've been a little slow on my rejoins the past couple flights, so trying something a little bit different tonight. Doing like a pure inverted
A little
pull. Keep it sight on boss the whole way. Always very important as you're rejoining. You always want to never lose sight on the boss. One of the very most common mistakes during rejoins is people will bank their wings completely away from the boss, go blind on the boss, and that's
the left pitch break from me 2-2.
Ready.
burner.
Break.
And you never want to go blind on the person you're rejoining on, unless it's an absolute safety of flight issue, in which
Just a little
case you are
further, right?
aborting your rejoin at that point. You're just clearing away as safely and quickly as
A little
possible to avoid a collision.
pull.
But you want to avoid
Smoke.
that.
On.
And that's the show. Next up, we're going to do the pitch to land. Nice, precise interval sequence. And if we do it right,
And the pull.
we should have about 13-second intervals between each of our
Rolling.
touchdowns.
Out. The left pitch break from me 2-2.
Ready, that break hook.
Banner.
Break.
Air brake, always a cool customer on the radio.
Center point. Boss breaking.
Ready, break.
Order breaking. And fun fact, this is actually the hardest, highest G sustained maneuver for the Diamond in the show. Turn my hat mode back off and slow way down. I'm
Smoke.
probably a little
Off.
too tight on that
Stand
interval
gear flaps.
of my brake.
Gear flaps. Boss gear flaps to go.
Ready, gear flaps, look up.
Burner, gear flaps, look up.
Break. Keep up. Stick up.
Check 3 in the green. Stagger is right. 220, Marty.
210, burn it.
200 air brake. And I'm just running a little slow. I'm going to try to get a little
200, Marty.
distance. And I'm going
200,
to wait.
burn it.
200 air brake. I'm going to wait a little longer than usual to
180, Marty.
start my left roll.
180, burn it.
200 air brake. And now I can start slowing down.
160, Marty.
170, air brake.
190 air brake. Marty just called me air brake
150,
there.
Marty.
I'll
160,
try not to
Brennan.
take that personally. 180 air brake. All in good fun. It
150,
can
Marty.
get kind of confusing calling out somebody else's name.
160, burn it.
180 air brake. Slowing.
135 all the way, Marty.
145 all the way, burner.
155 air brake. And I just gave that extra slowing call there for air brake, just to let them know I'm really chucking out the speed. 140 all the way air brake.
Boss okay.
And it looks like I might have just a hair too much interval there. I probably slowed down just a bit more than I should have, but that's okay. And like I said, stick around after we land. We'll raffle off a backseat ride. You could be flying with us this Thursday. And we touch down, throttle idle, flaps half, and clear to the cold side. Burner's okay. So our next practice is this Thursday at 8 Eastern. If you can make that, stick around and we'll do guess a number between 1 and 100 type deal. We don't have any fancy plugins or anything. We used to, but found that there's few enough people. If we ever explode in popularity, we'll have a problem. But I think for tonight, we should be fine. Whew. All right, and we can preemptively do some housekeeping items, disarm our smoke and our ejection seat. We hold off on turning off our landing light and putting our flaps up just so that that all happens simultaneously with the rest of the formation. And overall, not too bad of a flight. Definitely have some debrief items for myself to go over.
Landing checks.
Buddy.
Burner.
Break.
Check your smoker off. Check your tab. Flaps auto. Taxi light off. Reset trim saver seat.
Buddy.
Burner. All right, good stuff, guys. I'm going to step away for a second and do the raffle. I'll pop back in when it's done.
Sounds good.
Get this headset off.
Does that mean we can get out of the pit?
Channel switched. Channel switched.
Turn this jet noise down. All right, let me pull up the stream. Get the chat up in front of me. Hope you all enjoyed tonight's flight. We really enjoy doing these live practices from the first-person perspective. And yeah, appreciate everybody coming out and watching us. Okay, so I can see the chat. Way that we run the backseat giveaway is I am thinking of a number right now between 1 and 100. Right now, put your guess in chat. Thinking of a number between 1 and 100. Closest to the number gets the backseat ride. Again, pick a number between 1 and 100. Closest to the number I'm thinking of will get the back seat ride. We got some people typing in. Again, pick a number 1 to 100. Going once. Twice. And this is actually a close one. Okay, the number I was thinking of was 51. So, shh, boss, you are the winners. Or winner, I should say. Congratulations. I like how you called in chat that you were going to win, and you actually ended up winning. So, appreciate the confidence. It paid off. So, in order to do your backseat ride, what you're going to do is join our Discord server. You can find our Discord server by going to virtualblueangels.com. And there should be like a contact us or something like that. I forget which exact button it is. But you'll be able to find our Discord info at virtualblueangels.com. Join our Discord server and send a DM to Camel, the boss. And Camel will get you set up with the back seat mod. And again, we'll be doing the back seat ride this Thursday at 8 Eastern. So get in contact with them as soon as you can, and we'll right away. And then once again, as you can see on the screen, like I've said a couple times, but just one more advertisement. We are in recruiting season. So if you'd like to join the Virtual Blue Angels, go to virtualblueangels.com and click on recruiting to submit your application. And with that, we'll wrap up for the evening. Nan has been a great backseat passenger. He said at the beginning, he didn't want to ask questions or interrupt anything. He was just going to enjoy it. So thanks for being a gracious passenger, Nan. Do you want to say anything to the people at home before we sign off?
That was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I enjoyed it a
Glad you
lot.
enjoyed it. Good. All right. And with that, we will see you all back here. Same bat time, same bat channel, Thursday, 8 Eastern. Have a good night.